Hey everybody, it's Thursday. Jamie Green, the Solar Queen here, live and alive. It's been a few days. I actually am speaking a little bit normal today because on Monday I woke up with my throat completely, like almost completely swollen. Not quite anaphylaxis, but very, very swollen, tender, and sore in every which way. Spent a few hours in the ER, and they sent me home with some anti-inflammatories. And then I followed up with my doctors and stuff. So we're still trying to figure out what caused the throat situation to happen. But I sounded like Kermit the Frog on Monday and Tuesday a little bit more. My body was still, achy and in pain, but I feel like 1,000 times better today. So I decided it's time to come on live and share with you guys some energy efficiency. It's not so much energy efficiency, but it is a way. If you have solar panels on your home, if you're an existing homeowner of mine that's gone solar, thank you for going solar with me. I appreciate it. If you didn't go solar with me and you're watching, but you have solar panels on your rooftop, this applies to you too. So I wanted to give you guys some tips of what to do to increase your solar energy production, so your output. And please feel free to share this video. Thank you in advance for sharing this video with people you know who have solar. This is something that is important because if you live in Northern California, Southern California, Oregon, Utah, Nevada, anywhere, or even like Arizona, anywhere that you get a lot of dust accumulation or ash from all the fires. Thankfully, oh my gosh, we've had such beautiful, clean air. I'm so grateful for that. But this is to help tips on cleaning your solar panels. Now, if you read the fine print in any solar agreement, it's going to say maintain your panels by cleaning them every 6 months. And some people hire it out. Some people do it themselves. Some people never clean their panels. I think we've cleaned our panels twice since we've had them. There are window cleaners that will come out and clean your panels. But one of the important things to do is to clean them. So I'm going to give you some tips. The first tip is to wash your panels every 6 months. That might seem like overkill, but that's typically what they say in the solar agreements. So if you've had your system for a while now, make sure that you you can even stand from the ground with some pressurized water hose and spray them down. But do not do it in 100-degree temperature days or even 90 or 80. Do it when do it when it's the temperature, the outside temperature and the water temperature and the temperature of the panels are the least differentiated. So meaning if you can do it in the morning, on the weekends, do it in the mornings. The second tip is to use lightly pressurized water. So like from your hose, you don't need to get up onto your roof with a power washer. Don't do that. You don't need to do that. It's not necessary. Typically, like really rainfall, if you live like in states where you get a lot of rain, you could probably get away with just letting the rain wash off because of the most solar systems are installed on the rooftop. And there's a slope, and so the water will run down and clean your panels. But for people like us who live in California or Nevada or Arizona, we don't see, or Utah, we don't see as much rainfall like in the Pacific Northwest. You're gonna want to wash them. So use lightly pressurized water from like a hose with a nozzle on it. You don't need to make it like a stream, like a laser stream. You don't need to do that. And if you have access or can get, like one of those poles, like kind of like a mop with a Swiffer on it, you don't use a Swiffer, but use like a microfiber cloth, which is really, really gentle. You can go to Costco and get those 20 packs, those yellow microfiber cloths. A lot of people use them for waxing their cars. So if you can wax your cars with it and not scratch the paint, you can clean your solar panels with the microfiber cloths. So you can do that. if you want to get up onto your roof and do it yourself, please, if you get on your roof, please be careful. Do not fall off the roof. Do not, like, if you have a harness, wear a harness. But by all means, safety first. Yeah, so just, if you're not comfortable doing that, you can definitely hire it out. So that's going to be a tip down the road. The third tip, do not use fancy cleaners. Like, you don't need fancy cleaners to clean your panels. You don't need to use dishwashing soap. You don't need to use these special, like, high performance, gonna grab more sun to cleaners to, reflect. Don't use fancy cleaners. Just use water. Water and a microfiber cloth if you can. I know some people have had, they spray it down and it kind of turns into mud. It's probably because they're very dusty. I know where we live, we get a lot of evening wind, and so it's blowing so much pollen and dust and dirt and and ash. So right now, if you live in Northern California or Southern California, where there's been a lot of wildfires, you have accumulated ash on your panels. So you want to, as soon as you can, like maybe this weekend, get up there or from the ground, spray down your panels, because you're going to, think of it like your windshield. If you got in your car and you saw that film, it's kind of like that. So you want to be able to see and have visibility. So you want the sunlight to hit your panels and not have anything, creating a barrier that's going to reduce your output or your solar production. So, so that's my third tip. Don't use fancy cleaners. You don't need to. And if you don't feel safe, I kind of touched on this earlier. If you don't feel safe having someone or you doing it yourself, you can hire it out. Window cleaners are typically the ones that are going to do it. I have one window cleaner that I am somewhat connected with here in the Sonoma County area. So if you live in Sonoma, Napa, Marin County, and you want a recommendation, I haven't used them because my husband gets on the roof and cleans them. You reach out to me and I will be happy to pass along their information. But just ask them to leave the fancy cleaners in their van or their truck and just use water and a microfiber cloth, and ask them to come in the morning. So it's not, hot heat. So you don't want to crack. I don't think that would happen, but we just don't want any damage to your panels because of water being cold and the panels being hot. Okay. So, so feel free to hire it out, but just, ask them to not use fancy cleaners and come in the morning if they can. So clean your panels every 6 months. What this is going to do, it's going to help increase your energy output. You're going to see a little bit more production out of your panels. Right now, if you clean them, it's probably going to help 10 to 15%, maybe more, depending on where you live, how much ash and dust have accumulated onto your panels. If you have ground mounts, do the same. Follow the same thing. Make sure you clean them in the morning. Just use a little pressurized hose. Use a little microfiber cloths and clean your panels so you have better production out of your power source. So that's my tip for today. My tips for today for your solar system, existing solar system, and tips for if you're considering solar. That's really the only maintenance that you have for your solar panels, is making sure they stay clean and free of debris, free of tree leaves. I do know a homeowner who has an issue with pigeons pigeons. Hey, Jen. Pigeons nesting in underneath their solar panels, and they're getting a lot of poop on their panels, and that's going to block production. So make sure if you know pigeons are a problem, or you have trees that create shading and drop leaves or needles or pollens, be extra vigilant about keeping your panels clean and free of debris so that they don't block any of your production. So that's just my tips for you guys today. So I hope you all are having a wonderful day. Please share this with anyone you know that has solar. It's very, very important. So, hi, Jimmy Lee. Yes, you probably tell your homeowners and customers this all the time. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next live.